So go to settings. The Wi-Fi is just turning on.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
Oh, this is my phone, right? Yeah, so you won't need a password. Oh, Jessie, I don't think it's connected to her Wi-Fi. I don't think we connected it. No internet access. Wait, there we go. So, go to my settings.
No, it's already on.
Is it working?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on here.
That little thing hanging, could that be what should
No,
connect to
Yeah.
something?
Jessie, go to settings.
No, it's working.
This says 0 devices connected. So it's not connected. Honey, I think you should just get your phone.
No, it's working. I'm on it right now. I just don't know why it's not working right now.
I don't think it's connected to Wi-Fi.
No, the live's on. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think you put Mom's Wi-Fi on.
No, but no, what I'm saying is the live is on. We're live right now.
We are?
Yeah.
Let me ask if they can hear.
And the thing is, it's sideways. It is working.
Are you seeing a picture?
Yeah. Fix the camera. I'm trying.
Honey, I think you ought to just get
No,
your
it's
camera.
working. I'm on live.
Am I in the picture already?
Yes, but the thing is, people are saying that it's sideways, and that's my problem.
Uh-huh. Should I stand on my head?
No. It's connected. Hold on. It's really frustrating.
Let me see if I can do it. Oh. It's good. No, it is sideways. I see what you're saying. I think that Mom, you're on. Can you hear her? Can you hear me? If you can hear, if we're doing it, we'll stay right where we are.
Should I smile or should I look worried?
You are doing beautiful. You are on.
But should I speak or...
I think you're on.
She is on.
Okay, Mom.
And she's speaking it.
Go.
And she's good.
May I welcome everybody?
Yeah, it's sideways, which I don't understand.
I can welcome all of you, but I'm sideways.
It seems perfect. It doesn't seem sideways.
Yeah, this is sideways. It means they're seeing it sideways, I think.
As all our audience realizes, we are not...
It works now. It's good. It's just blocked.
It's a friendly audience, so don't worry.
See, it's not sideways now.
There we go.
There are three trying to do it. Joni and Jessie, and Kenny just stepped in to see if he could do something.
Is it good, Jess?
We can still see the stand.
You know what? Go.
No, Joni knows it. Okay.
Mom, you are on.
Am I on or not on?
You are on.
Can you hear me?
Boys,
Welcome
can
all
you
of
hear
you.
her?
Yes.
Go. You're good.
Welcome all of you. Can you hear me? Does anybody say yes? Joni's waving her hand, which means I can keep on talking. Okay.
Perfect.
Welcome.
Elena Taylor says perfect. Gina says fine.
I'm gonna in front of you for a second.
We are fine. Mom, you're on.
I'm on. Okay.
Roll 'em.
I'm going to begin first of all the usual way. First I'll tell you welcome and thank you for being here. Second thing is, as usual, we begin with a drawing of a child with special needs. And this one really got to me. It's a young girl whose hands did not work. They were like this, and she couldn't use them. So she used her feet. And in the picture you could see that she did everything with them. The one thing about people who have disabilities, the ones I have met are usually amazing. Somehow they overcome things in their own way. If one part of them doesn't work, another part substitutes. Okay? And now let me go further. And again, because of Harvey, I was able to go into all these places where I could meet the kids. I can't do that now, but someday again I will be able to. Okay, let me go further. I'm going to deal with a few things today. I'm going to deal, as long as you can hear me, I'm going to deal with the fact that this will be the beginning of every session, because someday when the children are no longer taken away from their families in my country, at the borders or other places, then I will make a different painting. But right now this is a painting of saying we're all in the same spot. Make believe that each person is part of us. Okay? Now, I promised that I would speak about healing, and I will do that. I want to go back again in pain. I want to go back again to lupus and how I cured it. And the main ingredient in it really was that I tried to figure out how we divide ourselves into I and me. You know the sentence, I'm angry with myself. I don't like what I did. Are we two people, each of us? And that's what I worked on. I began to figure out, could the I be my mind and the me be my body? And had I ignored the I so long that the mind protested and hurt my body so that I would learn to listen. What I did was I would touch the part that was not working and that gave me terrible pain. And I would say, did I hurt you? And for a long time, nothing answered. But after a while, it began to answer. Why did you run so much? Why don't you rest? I'm tired. Listen to me. Pay attention when I'm tired. And very slowly, I found out it was my running so much that made me ignore who I was. But I learned after a while how to conquer pain. How do you conquer pain? You allow it to enter, and you find out the part that hurts the most, and you touch it, and you talk to it, and you say, how did I hurt you? After a while, your body, which has been ignored for so long, begins to answer. Not right away. It doesn't trust you anymore. Because when you're exercising, because you want to lose weight, or you want something to work better, you don't listen to that the body is hurting. When you see it hurting, say, shall I stop for a while? Let me relax for a minute. Let me just let go for a minute. Okay? I'm going to today work in segments because I want to speak about my paintings, because they're done for a reason, every one of them. Because when I was a child and we were in hiding from Hitler in our apartment, I always thought, and I've said that before, but I need to keep on saying it, if they knew us, they wouldn't hurt us. And maybe if I tell you who we are, you would not hurt us. And so I paint people, everybody, the homeless, people with disabilities, people without it. And one day my mother said, it's not enough. You have to write. That homeless woman, she's not just a homeless woman. She's a person. Write something about her. And I said, but Mom, I don't know her. She doesn't even know that I'm drawing her. And my mother said, but you know where you saw her. Put down, where did you see her? Penn Station. Put down Penn Station. Put down the time of day. Put down the day in the year. Give her an identity. Remember, when people looked at me during Hitler time, they would say, there's a Jew. I'm not a Jew. I'm a person. She is not a homeless woman. She is a person. Invent her by being truthful. Don't lie. Just put the time and the place. Okay? And because of my mother, I began to write. Every painting I did has a story. And in it I mention every person in the painting. Except here, because I do not know them. When I did this, I did it from sketches that I did. When the virus is gone, not just gone, but when we've changed enough to let the universe want us to go on. Because as long as we carry our hates and our angers, so that must make a Hiroshima, a Vietnam War, slavery, as long as we need those things, it's because we don't recognize each other. And I'm going to always and every time tell about somebody wonderful. When my children and Eric said, we have to go back to Vienna. And I said, no, I don't ever want to go back. Look what they did to me. They said, no, you can't do that. It's not all of Vienna. Let's go back. And there was a woman, and this was the Vienna of today, when we went back. Not the Hitler time, but the Vienna who was like us in America before we start doing the hate that takes children away from their parents at the border. Am I loud enough? Okay. Then I want to go further, and I want to tell you, there was a group of people in Vienna, and one of them was a woman who started this group. It was a woman called Elizabeth Ben David Hindler, who started the group that went to every house where Jews had lived and put up a plaque saying the names of the people who had lived there, how they were killed, and she would write all the information that you could find out about the people who were killed in the concentration camps in Vienna, who in a sense were what we escaped from. Because when Panama gave us a visa, America did not. America didn't let us in. Panama did. And that is why I'm alive. And that's why the family who's running this program for me tonight was born. Because I was allowed to live. Not because of the United States of America, but because of Panama. And Elizabeth Ben David Hindler got a group of people together, and she wrote about the exploits, what these people found out. And when I learned that there was a newspaper being published by them. I immediately wrote to her and asked if I could pay and get those emails or these letters. And in one of them, a man named Herbert Neusiedler wrote a story of, he said, there were Christian and Jewish children in this apartment building, and we were friends together until Hitler came. And then suddenly the Jewish children were not allowed to go to school anymore. They were not allowed to play with us. And some of us spit on them, and some of us helped them. But one day, a group of children from the streets found a woman who was buying in Jewish stores, and they began to stone her. They put a sandwich board on her that said, "This Aryan pig buys in Jewish stores." And when I read that, I ran into the next room to Eric and I said, "Eric, I saw that. I saw that happening." And I had. When I was not allowed to look out of the window when we were in hiding, I heard a lot of noise. But I was 8 years old, and I peeked. I lifted up the curtain and I peeked, and I saw a woman being stoned by boys. And on her was a big sandwich board saying, "This Aryan pig buys in Jewish stores." And I said, "Eric, I was there." And he said, "Immediately write to the man who wrote this." And I did. I wrote to Herbert, and out of it came a wonderful friendship. His daughter, who was doing research, ended up going to Stony Brook University, and he wrote us about that, and we invited her to our house because he is Viennese, but his wife is Polish. And when we were in Panama, Uncle Harry, my mother's brother, came running to us and said, "There's a letter from Poland. It's of a woman who used to play with your sister in Poland when she was a child. And she and her family was hiding your father and mother. And her brother, who was a mechanic, was able to go into the concentration camps in order to fix machinery. And he would smuggle soap to them. And whenever there was food, he would try to smuggle food too." I must tell you these stories because it is never a nation. It is always individuals. Individuals who kill and individuals who help. And these Polish people tried to save my grandparents. They couldn't do it. Eventually they were caught and killed in the concentration camp. But we couldn't translate these letters, which Uncle Harry brought. Uncle Harry, my mother's brother, who had brought us to America, to Panama rather. And Herbert's wife was able to translate those letters. We gave them to their daughter, when she came to visit, because we trusted her. We could not allow these precious letters to be given to a stranger. And we have the letters. What Herbert did, he took my mother's book, which was written in German, but then later in English, because she learned English by reading the story of her family. And I have the book that Herbert wrote. And translated. This is what my mother had written. I'm going to read it from the back. Why I wrote this book. We lived in Vienna, Austria until 1938, when Hitler took over the country. I'm not wearing my glasses, so it takes time. Life then became intolerable for us. We left for Panama and years later came to the United States. As our children grew older and had their own families, the younger generation began to ask questions about the places from which we had come. There were so many stories to remember, and I decided to write them down in book form. Uprooted people need to know where they came from. And stories by mouth, by brush, or by pen should fill the void and answer the question, who am I? If I'm fortunate and my story is published, perhaps it might lead to other parents to do the same. Paula Bilgray-Kellman. And she wrote, I followed the tide. And today the people I want to honor are Elizabeth Ben-David Hindler, who started the group, the Neusiedlers, who became close friends and still are, and translated the book. My father had written his book in German, and we translated it, and we have that too. And it's time for me to end. I have 5 minutes. Here is the painting I did of my mother. We used to bring all our plants for her to heal. Joni does that now. My daughter Joni grows tomatoes and lettuce on her porch in pots, and she treasures her garden, which is huge. And my mother did that too. She didn't have a garden, but whenever we had a plant that didn't work, we brought it to her. All of you Bilgrays who are watching, this is the sister of your brother, of your father, my Uncle Harry.
Mary Lou from Panama says, I remember Aunt Paula sending me a translation about a letter.
Oh, I'm so happy. Goodbye, all of you. I love you. And I thank you for letting me tell you the stories. I have a purpose. The purpose is get to know the people who family or other people told you to hate. The whole world is yours. If the only people you carry are the ones who hurt you, then they live forever. Start carrying the people who heal you, especially the ones you have not yet met.
So Tammy Smith says, beautiful painting of your mother. Mary Lou Bilgray de Rodriguez, Modus Lester, Barbara Feaster, Michael Kerr, Wendell Wyatt, Sandy Alzek, Robert Flower, Pat Haas, Connor Calliope, Rose Schwartz, Deirdre Romer,
We started late, so we can go next.
Janine Schultz, these are all people watching, Elena Taylor, Joe Tripp is in Annapolis watching, Elaine Taylor, and Mary Romer.
Guys, forgive me that I do not answer anybody on Facebook. I am so illiterate when it comes to any of these things. I cannot find the comments. It takes me forever to try to hear the broadcast. But thank you, and I love you so.
And Christine Cox is watching, and Stephen Schlossel.
My neighbor.
Who helps you when you are in trouble, and Michelle Kaushaka.
Yes,
And
who
Ed
went to
Wiesman.
school with Kenny.
And Janine Schultz.
Janine,
So all of
thank
your
you.
friends are watching you, Mama.
Thank you. See you next Monday. Even if I don't answer, I answer in my heart.